Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be my drugstore foundation review. This is a drugstore foundation review roundup video. I tested out 10 foundations and put them to the test for you guys. Some of these foundations I've only tried out twice or 3 times, and some of these I've been wearing for months now, and some of them I've worn quite often. But I think with foundation, I can wear it like 2 or 3 times and basically develop my full opinion of whether I like it or not. So I'm going to be going through those with you guys today. I was really excited to film this video for a while. Like, I really wanted to follow up my haul videos with review videos for you guys on what I'm really liking from the drugstore. And I really wanted to start out with this video. So I'm going to go by brands, I think, first. I'm also going to try and go by price, and then I'm going to rank them from the ones I love to the ones that have pros and cons to the ones that I don't really like. I mostly love all of these foundations, but I will tell you the pros and cons of them so you guys could really get an idea of if you're trying to find a cheaper alternative to higher end foundations that you just really can't afford anymore, or you just want to see if there's more options out there. So also forgive me if it looks like a little bit dark this way. I'm not really wearing like too much face makeup today. I am wearing like a full coverage foundation, and I am wearing one of these. I just didn't feel like reapplying my eyeshadow again. I am going to take it off after this. I just didn't think it was a big deal, and I think it looks fine. It's just like the Urban Decay Naked palette, some Wet n Wild blush, and ColourPop lippy stick. So let's just jump right into this, because who cares what makeup I'm wearing. I just really wanted to film in this new sweater that I have from Lucky. I love it. And then I'm wearing like this elephant shirt from J. Crew. I just really wanted to film with like wearing some fall makeup, since I haven't like filmed anything with fall makeup on yet. And I haven't really sat down and filmed a video like this in a while, but I had a lot of time tonight. So, okay. So I have 10 foundations in front of me, you guys. So I have 3 from L'Oreal. So I'm just going to show them to you first to round up the ones that I'm talking about. Actually, yes, I have 3 from L'Oreal. So I have the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation. I have the L'Oreal True Match, just the regular True Match foundation. And then I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. Then I have 2 from Maybelline. I have the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth Fit Me Foundation. You guys know I love this foundation already. I'm not really spoiling anything when I say that, but this is the one I've been testing out for a pretty long time. So you guys know I've like raved about that foundation. And then I have the Maybelline Better Stay, Super Stay Better Skin Foundation, and I have this one as well from Maybelline. Then moving on to some standalone brands, I have the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 Foundation. I know the packaging are a little bit messy on some of these, but whatever. Then I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation, and this one is what it looks like. I was about to say the shade, but I'll just say the shades when I go over them. Then I have the least expensive alternative. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is the one I'm wearing on my face today. And then I have the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Foundation, which is on the complete opposite of the spectrum. This is the most pricey foundation from the drugstore. And this is the Lift and Illuminate Foundation. That's basically just what it's called. So we're going to go through all of these foundations for you guys. I'm going to start with the least expensive foundation. I think that that's a good place to start. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and this one is in the shade Porcelain. So let's go through the packaging first. So this is what the packaging looks like. I really love this packaging. It's really nice and solid. I love this outer bottle. It's really nice and substantial. I really love this packaging over some of the other more expensive alternatives because I think that this is really nicely made. I feel like Wet n Wild really makes their products really nicely. And then there's some information on the back. So what it claims is, it says, goodbye photo flashback. Helps eliminate white particle reflection. Image shown above is a digital simulation for illustration purposes only. It says tested under 7 light conditions with top smartphone models with and without flash. So this is what it looks like. I like this foundation. I really do. But the only thing that I really, really hate about this foundation is the packaging. It is so annoying. I hate this spatula applicator. I feel like I would like this foundation more if the applicator was just easier to apply it. Maybe I should dab it onto a beauty blender and then apply it to my face that way. But the way that I like applying my foundation, I've found that it's the best method to apply it, is applying it directly to my face first. I don't like putting it on my hand and then dipping a beauty blender into it and then putting it on. I feel like that absorbs too much of the product. I like putting it on my face first and then blending it out that way. So pros and cons about this foundation. I love the shade of this foundation. It doesn't oxidize on me. It's a really beautiful shade match. I love that since it's called porcelain, it is actually porcelain. And there are some brands in here that are actually called porcelain that they are not porcelain at all, but we will get into that. But I love how fair this is, and it does have a really beautiful coverage when your makeup is finished. I don't think when I'm applying my makeup, this foundation is my go-to. I really love this, and I've been testing this out for a long time. But I feel like I like it more when my makeup is finished than before I'm applying it. I do want to tell you guys how it looks right now. I'm just going to whip out I haven't worn it in a while, though. This is the first time I've worn this foundation since I've been getting all these new foundations and testing them out for you guys. But I really wanted to wear this foundation today. I wanted to go back to it and refresh my memory on it to see what I like about it and see what I don't like about it. But overall, it looks really good right now. The only thing is that I feel like it doesn't really apply evenly to my nose. I feel like I have to put a concealer on to get it evenly applied, and I feel like I can kind of skip around my Cupid's bow. Other than that, I really like how it applies to the entire rest of my face. I just think it looks a little bit dry when you first apply it, but once your makeup is done, I feel like it looks nice and smooth. So this is a really good foundation. I'm just not as like head over heels in love with it as other people are. It does look beautiful on the skin right now. I feel like this foundation looks better like throughout the day. I did have to apply a little bit more to my chin area, but I feel like that kind of wears off like through like me eating and stuff. But I think it looks beautiful on camera right now. It does settle a little bit into my fine lines when I'm first applying it. Right now, I think it looks totally fine. It's not like settling into fine lines or anything like that. Just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So from far away, this looks really great, and I think it looks great on camera. So yeah, and my makeup applies really nice and smoothly on top of it. So I think it makes a really nice base for your makeup. So let's move on, but I do really like this foundation, but I'm not like head over heels in love with it like everybody else is. I have all of my notes and the prices listed in this. I usually don't do this for my videos, but I wanted to make sure I covered a bunch of different points in this video. I know there's like a lot of glare when I show that, but I'm just showing you guys that I do have it right here in front of me, so I wanted to make sure. Okay, so we went through that one. Let's just go through. I really want to cover like price first. So let's go into the second least expensive foundation. This is the first foundation that I've ever tried from this brand. Also, Wet n Wild is the first foundation I've ever tried from their brand. This one, I have to just find it on my list. This one is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. And this one retails for $7.99, but that is at CVS. Just be careful with the prices when it comes to Ulta and CVS. Mostly all of these foundations you can find at CVS, except for the number 7 foundation. I didn't say where you can find this. You can find this at CVS. You can find this at Ulta. You can find this on wetandwild.com. All of these foundations I'm going to tell you guys, you can find them at Ulta, CVS, Walgreens, most of these drugstore or Target. Most of these stores carry these brands, especially Maybelline and CoverGirl and L'Oreal. Those aren't hard to find, but number 7 is pretty much exclusive to Ulta. So is LA Girl, and they also sell this at a different CVS. I had to go to a different CVS to get this, but I didn't want to get this at Ulta because I was saving more money at CVS. But I'll get into more like how much I spent on it and stuff like that when I haul this, because I haven't hauled anything from LA Girl yet. But I did want to tell you guys my thoughts on the foundation. So this, I believe, is $8.99 at Ulta, but I got this for $7.99 at CVS. And this is the shade Porcelain. First off, this foundation is so yellow. that I don't know how they could call this porcelain. It is extremely yellow on me. Um, and the packaging is pretty cheaply made. I feel like just the outside is very plasticky, but at the same time, that doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really bother me about packaging especially when it comes to the drugstore. And this is only $7.99, but hey, the Wet n Wild is only $5.99. This comes in a glass bottle, so maybe they just wanted to make sure like you don't break it or something. I do love that it comes with a pump though. Like that is definitely a bonus for me. That's definitely a pro over the Wet n Wild foundation. But the smell of this is very plasticky when I put it on. The coverage is good, but I'm not like in love with it. I do have to test out this foundation a little bit more, but I've worn it about 3 or 4 times now. And I can say I don't love it. I know that, again, a lot of people were raving about both of these foundations. Like, probably these two were raved about the most out of all these foundations that I'm going to be talking about. And I was not in love with this foundation. This is probably my least favorite one that I've tried out of all of these. It's also very yellow and thought it was supposed to be porcelain. Nice coverage, but Milani covers better, and I will get into the Milani foundation very soon. But yeah, the shade like really throws me off. I have been wearing it with the LA Girl concealer, and I've been trying it with other concealers, but I don't know. Again, I will update you guys my full thoughts on this foundation in the description box below once I've worn it more, but so far this is probably my least favorite foundation that I've tried. I don't really know what else to say about it, but this is probably my least favorite product that I've tried from LA Girl so far. I'm obsessed with the blush that I'm trying. The concealer is okay, the foundation's okay, but I think their powder products are better. But I really wanted to try this out to tell you guys my thoughts on it because I feel like this foundation's very hyped up. I know a lot of people talk about it, but I don't know. I feel like LA Girl is like a brand like I wasn't really that interested in. But since I was getting buy two, get one free at CVS, I really wanted to try the foundation, so I basically only paid for this. That's why I love CVS, because you can get such great deals. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I really have to say about this one. But the claims for this one I didn't read. It says medium to full coverage, smooth, long-wearing, flawless looking finish. I don't really feel that way about this one. It covers nicely, but it's something that I'm not going to reach for all the time. I'm going to wear it to test it out, but I wouldn't really recommend this to somebody because it's not really like one of my favorites. So that's the next one. All right, let's move on to the next one in price range. I think we're going to talk about the Maybelline foundations next. Yeah, let's talk about one of my favorites. You guys know this already. This is the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth Fit Me foundation. This is in the shade, the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 110 Porcelain. Now, this is what the packaging looks like. It's a really nice glass small bottle. I do like that it's a small bottle because it's just easier to use that way. But I do hate that it does not have a pump, you guys. Like, that drives me crazy when you have to, like, pour it onto your hand. If it's not in a squeezy tube, I feel like it should have a pump. That is just so annoying to me. But this is the Oxynoxate Sunscreen SPF 18 Normal to Dry, and the claims on this one says hydrates and smooths skin texture, natural luminous finish. Now, I really do think that this foundation does live up to its claims, and this one retails, like I said, for $7.99, and I believe at CVS it retails for $8.99. So again, please don't quote me on the prices for these. And for LA Girl, you can find it at, I'm sorry, I'm like so off sometimes because like I feel like I couldn't say enough about this foundation. I know like pretty much what I feel about all the rest of these foundations is probably the only one that I have to wear a little bit more because sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to develop my opinion. But all the other foundations, I know my opinion on them already. Like, I know the ones that I'm in love with and the ones that have cons. So there's only 3 that really have cons for me. The rest I really love. For this, you can find it at Ulta, you can find it at CVS, and I believe select Walgreens. Don't quote me on that, though. But I got this at CVS because the deal was better, because I wasn't going to get it at Ulta if I wasn't going to get money off on it. Like, why get it at Ulta if I'm not going to get anything off of it? I'm going to go get it at CVS. So anyway, the Maybelline Fit Me foundation I hate the packaging. It's so annoying. I do love that it comes in a glass bottle, but I hate that it doesn't have a pump. I am almost all the way through this one though. This one, I just wish it was a tad bit lighter on me, but I do love this foundation. It gives a beautiful, dewy, smooth finish. It always covers beautifully. It always looks like your skin is healthy and just luminous on the skin. That's what I love about it. Light to medium coverage. Wish the shade was a tad bit lighter though. That's basically the only cons that I have about it. I've been wearing this foundation for a long time and it's just one of my go-tos. I did just repurchase it in my recent CVS drugstore makeup haul and that's why I repurchased it. This is like the first um found drugstore foundation that I've basically used up. So that's how you guys know how much I love it. But there might be another foundation in this video that's giving this a run for its money. Like I do love this foundation, but there's one that I might like even more that's like luminous and makes your skin just glow. I do really love this for when I'm not wearing makeup for a long time. I wouldn't suggest this wearing for a long period of time. I would suggest two of the other foundations. I wouldn't even suggest the Wet n Wild or the LA Girl. Maybe the Wet n Wild over the LA Girl because I feel like the Wet n Wild hasn't really broken up. But I have worn the Wet n Wilds like through like a long time, and also this one. I think that this one starts breaking up in my T-zone, so I didn't really like that. And this one doesn't really break up that much, but it can look drying, so I don't really love that. But I love the shade. I just wish that this one was like a little bit lighter like this one was, and I think I would love it even more. Because look how much lighter this is than this one. And then this one says it's porcelain, and look at this. Look how yellow that is. Like, I don't even have to swatch this for you guys. Like, you can see in the bottle, like, the shade differences. Like, please tell me how this is porcelain. I still don't get it. But there's one that's even more yellow that I'm going to talk to you guys about. But, yeah, I would definitely recommend this 1000% to anybody who has dry skin. But again, I really like this for when I'm wearing makeup for like 5 to 6 hours and then I take it off. I don't wear this for a long wear because I don't know if I've worn this all day, but I'm pretty sure I've only really worn this when I'm only wearing makeup like to work or to school if I have a short day at school. But I really do like this for something that's natural and for everyday makeup. I think it just always looks beautiful. All right, then the next foundation, let's just move on to the next Maybelline foundation because I just want to cover that because I'm still talking about Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Foundation. And this one is in the shade, I believe this is Ivory. So this is what it looks like. I love the packaging on this one. It's a really nice, heavy, substantial bottle. This one says, our first foundation for all day color wear with Atel C, known for its antioxidant benefits. This says ACTYL. Improves skin, this is a really weird font. Improves skin's look in 3 weeks. Reduces the appearance of spots, bumps, dullness, and redness. So this is what it looks like. Love the packaging, really nice pump. It just feels like a little bit more expensive. And this one retails for $11.99, but again, be careful of the price because I think it's $12.99 at Ulta, or not Ulta, at CVS. I believe this is $11.99. Maybe it's $10.99. I don't think this is more expensive than $11.99, but these aren't like that cheap anymore. That's why the Wet n Wild is such a good price. I think that after the Maybelline Fit Me foundation came out, they were like upping their price with like their other lines. The reason why I like the Maybelline Fit Me line a lot is because it is a lot cheaper line than some of Maybelline's other products. Like most of the Fit Me line products are like under $8, which I think is really good. So I would definitely recommend like the powder I've been using, the blush I've been using, their concealer I've been using for a really long time from the Fit Me line. But this is definitely a better, cheaper alternative. But this is more of a full coverage option that I think is really beautiful on the skin. So this one is, I put beautiful medium to full coverage. It covers gorgeously. I love how this looks on your skin. A tad too tan for me. Wish they offered a lighter shade than Ivory, which is true. I think it's a little bit yellow for me. Not really yellow, it's more like tan, which I need it to be like white, obviously. And then I said doesn't settle into fine lines because it really doesn't. I love how it looks on the skin through, and I've worn this throughout like an 8 hour day and it still looks beautiful. And then it says since it's dark it oxidizes a little bit, and that's my only con really, is that I wish that this was a little bit lighter. I'm pretty sure they don't have a lighter shade in this one. I didn't see it in stores, so I doubt they really have a lighter shade. Let's look it up really, really quickly. But if I were to compare these two when it comes to shade range, I would say I like the shade range of the Fit Me line more, because I think that this one is a little bit more limited in its shade selection, especially for lighter skin tones. I mean, I'm not going to say that the darker skin tones suck too, because I don't think this one goes past like deep or something. I don't even know. But I know they have a decent shade selection, Maybelline, so they're not like the worst when it comes to drugstore shade selection. But they are a huge brand that they should be able to come out with more shades. This one, where is it? Better Skin. This one says it comes in 11 colors, and the lightest shade is Ivory. That's what it says. Yeah. I feel like this was more geared towards like tanner skin tones, and I feel like that's why they did that. But that's a little bit annoying for me because the lightest shade they have is Ivory. And granted, I have not mixed any of these foundations together. I've just been testing them on their own. I'm pretty sure the only one I might have mixed a little bit is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. But I don't really mix foundations anymore. I don't really find that I need to do that, and I feel like it just makes the foundation a little bit too heavy on my skin. But this one comes in 11 colors. I just wish it was a little bit lighter. The Fit Me foundation comes in, Dewy and Smooth comes in 16 colors, so that is a better shade selection. And this goes from Porcelain to Mocha, so that's pretty good. The Wet n Wild foundation, let me just tell you the shade selection. I know I'm freaking horrible, but I might as well tell you that too. I think that's a good thing to know. The Wet n Wild comes in 20 different colors. That's a really good shade selection. But did I tell you guys about the Wet n Wild photo focus line is that I prefer the concealer over the foundation. But I'm going to cover that more in my drugstore concealer video because I think I'm going to do one. For this, I prefer the Photo Focus Concealer. I know that's not a very popular opinion, but I love that concealer. And for this, I definitely 1000% prefer the foundation over the concealer. I love this foundation. It's really good. That's one of my favorites. And then the LA Girl. Let's see how many shades this comes in. I'm just kind of really interested. So we've covered 4 foundations so far. So it comes in 16 colors. And the lightest is White, Fair, and then Porcelain. Maybe I should have gotten Fair, because Fair looks a lot lighter. But I feel like that's so deceiving. Porcelain is lighter than Fair in most brands. Maybe I should have gotten Fair. But whatever, I really don't care that much. It's like, it doesn't really bother me when it's a little bit yellow. So now we're going to move on to, we covered, I thought I just deleted all of them. We covered Maybelline. Now we're going to move on to L'Oreal. Let's cover those. So the first one I've been testing out, well, actually, let's go with the one that is the cheapest first. So I'm going to move on to the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup Titanium Dioxide Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 17, and this one is in the shade Warm Porcelain W1. Now, the first thing right off the bat is that I despise the packaging. This packaging is so annoying. Like, come on, why do they have to make you pour it out? I do really like the bottle, though. It's really nice and small. It's easy to store, which I do really like about it. But come on, why couldn't you make the packaging bigger? I mean, have like a little pump or something. Packaging bigger. And this one says, helps prevent sunburn if used as directed with other protection measures. See directions, decreases the risk of probably skin disease or something. Lift for drug facts. I cannot talk today. Sometimes they don't have like the claims of what it's supposed to do, but I'm pretty sure this one's supposed to claim that it's full coverage. This one I tried specifically because yeah, Nicole Guerrero said that this was her all-time favorite drugstore foundation. For this one, I tried because Amy Macedo said that she loved it. The Wet n Wild, everybody talks about this one. Everybody says it's amazing. And the LA Girl I tried, I'm pretty sure because Young, Wild, and Polished and Amy Macedo said that they loved it. And then the Maybelline Fit Me I just tried because I thought that the Matte and Poreless, because everybody loves the Matte and Poreless foundation, I thought the Matte and Poreless would be too dry for me because I have dry skin, so I tried the Dewy and Smooth, and I never regret trying that because I love it. Okay, this one is a beautiful shade. I love it. This has a great shade selection. It more goes for your undertones as opposed to like your actual skin tone, which I really like. This one is in 24 colors, so that's a pretty good shade selection. I don't know how dark it goes though. It might not go too dark. Oh, okay. It goes to like cappuccino, which isn't too bad. It offers about 4 to 5 dark skin tones. I know that's not too many. It does have a pretty decent fair selection though, which I do really like. So it comes in like 3 different colors in each undertone, which I really liked. They tried to match your undertone for this. So this one is in the shade W1. Now I thought when I was buying it, I thought I was going for the cool tone one because I have more cooler undertones. But I went for the warm. I accidentally brought home the warm one, but I love this shade. It matches me so well, and the coverage is so gorgeous. It's flawless, like, but it looks so beautiful on the skin. And this one, I said, beautiful coverage, doesn't oxidize, great shade match, starts breaking up in T-zone after 6+ hours, feels a little dry around 8, but still looks good, meaning like around 8 hours. So around 6+ hours, I think the only reason why I was doing that yesterday, because I did wear this all day yesterday, and I think I've tried this out about 3 times now, is because I was drinking water out of a canister, so I think it was kind of wearing off there. And also, when I was with my boyfriend, I was drinking a Arizona iced tea, and I was drinking it like this. I think that's the only reason why it wore off there. But it doesn't typically do that when I wear this. So I love this foundation. There's not really any cons for this except for the packaging. But this is beautiful. Like, this is definitely probably my favorite L'Oreal foundation I've tried so far because it has gorgeous coverage. It kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay All Nighter coverage, but a little bit lighter than that, and a lot more weightless, so that's really good. I would say this one isn't really weightless on the skin, and this one retails for, I'm sorry, my brain is on my midterm right now because I have a midterm tomorrow. So forgive me if I'm a little bit off and I'm like forgetting some facts. I'm like, of course I'm not going to forget anything, and then of course I forget everything when I say it. This one retails for $9.99 at Ulta, but I believe this was $10.99 at CVS. Again, do not quote me on the prices. And all of these you can find, like I said, CVS, Target, Ulta, etc. L'Oreal.com. There was something else I wanted to say about this one. It was something about the, oh my god, what did I just say? Fuck. Yeah, that's really it. Hold on. I was talking about how it feels on the skin. This one is a little bit drying, like I said. It's not completely weightless on the skin. This one, definitely weightless. This one is pretty weightless. It might feel a little bit heavy, but not really at all. You don't really feel it. And then this one is a little bit heavy on the skin. So, yeah, this one is beautiful, though. I definitely give this one like an A+. It's, so far, I love this foundation. If I could actually, yeah, there we go. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to the next L'Oreal foundation. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup Oxynoxate Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 20, and this one is in the shade N2 Neutral. So I went more for the neutral undertone of this foundation. And this one says, Lift for Drug Facts. Cosmetic instructions: shake well before using. Apply evenly onto face using fingertips or applicator. Blend outward until a desired coverage is achieved. It doesn't say any claims, but obviously this one claims to be a luminous, dewy foundation. And let's see if it says anything on the back. I actually have not done that yet. You know what? It's going to ruin it anyway. So let's just look at the... This one, it says that it retails for $12 $12.99, which is pretty expensive. I don't know why this one is their most expensive one when this one gives the least amount of coverage out of the three. Maybe it's the packaging, because the packaging, excuse me, is really nice. So now let's just look up the shades and the True Match Lumi. So this one comes in 3, 6, 9, 12. It comes in 15 shades. That's not too bad. And the lightest shade is Porcelain Ivory. I got Classic Ivory. I don't know why I wouldn't get W12, which is Porcelain Ivory, which is warm W12. Again, it is really nice that L'Oreal tries to go for the undertones as opposed to the like actual skin tone of your skin. This one says what I put is light to medium coverage. This one's probably like the least amount of coverage besides one other foundation I'm going to talk about. But looks great when makeup is finished. A little dark, but better match for my skin. So lightweight and comfortable, hydrating, and very luminous. So the only con I would say about this one, I mean, I love the packaging. It's really cute. And I really love the bottle. It's a little bit foggy because I tried to clean it up. So these caps do get pretty dirty. That's the only thing I don't like about clear caps. I prefer like the black caps so then you don't have to see all of that. Like this one gets really dirty too, and so does the Maybelline one, so just keep that in mind. But I love the bottle. I went through about, let's see, I could definitely see it when I was putting it here. I went through like probably down to here. Yeah, I went through quite a bit of it. I mean, I could see it kind of tilted up, but I'm like kind of down to here. So I've used this quite a bit. I think that this is a really nice alternative to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, but I don't think it's a dupe. I know that L'Oreal owns Giorgio Armani, so everybody says that this is a dupe for the Giorgio Armani. It's just like the Giorgio Armani puts a much heftier price tag on it. But I do prefer the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation over this one. You guys know that the Giorgio Armani foundation was one of my all-time favorite foundations for like the longest time, and it's still one of my favorites. I don't think I really have a favorite foundation of all time, really, because I feel like so many foundations vary, and I've been trying out so many new ones lately that I've been trying, like, finding ones I love and finding ones that I'm not too crazy about, but I think it's better than, like, spending your money on, like, a really high-end foundation. So, but I don't think the coverage is as even with this when you first apply it. I think that the Giorgio Armani is much more even coverage, but once your makeup is finished, like the Wet n Wild one, I do really like the finished result. It's really nice and dewy. But it does get a little bit oily on my skin after a little while because it's a very dewy foundation. And I have dry skin, but I do not wear this when I want something long wearing. It's definitely not a long wearing foundation. This is just really nice for like 4 or 5 hours worth of wear, and then it starts looking pretty luminous and pretty dewy on me. So yeah, you're definitely going to get hella dewy when you wear this. But I really like that. And why do I keep on forgetting the other thing that I say about these foundations? Oh, it is pretty weightless on the skin. And there we go. Okay, now the last L'Oreal foundation that I have to share with you guys is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Oxynoxate Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15 Radiant Finish Normal Dry Skin and Hydrating. Very long name. This one says Lasting Glow Foundation, never dull, never greasy. Finish radiant, wear up to 24 hours, which who's going to wear their foundation for that long? It says coverage medium and texture air light. Pro tip, shake well, dot onto skin in rolling motion for flawless coverage. Okay, I need to shake this foundation more. I've definitely used quite a bit of it. It's pretty light right now. I do really like this foundation. And this one is in the shade 201 Classic Ivory. The thing is that I don't like the squeezy tube because the packaging gets pretty damn messy, as you can see, like foundations like all over the cap. It's not too bad because it's really easy to store, but I would recommend this 1000% if you have dry skin. I would not wear this if you have oily skin. It's not going to help you out whatsoever. The matte, I would go for the Matte Pro Glow, but this I really wanted to try out because it was for dry skin. So this one says, I wrote Pro Glow, beautiful coverage, love the shade, A little liquidy and smells chemically, wears really nicely, but the squeezy tube packaging is annoying. And this one retails for $12.99. Now, this one, let me just look up the shade selection. I should have, I wrote down all the prices, but then I didn't write down the shade selection of how many shades there are. So yeah, I tried to save work for myself and I end up doing work anyway. But hey, I'd rather give you the right information than anything than to steer you in the wrong direction. So this one comes in 12 different colors. And I believe this one was the lightest shade. Yeah, this is 201 Classic Ivory. This one does not come in half as many colors as their other foundations do, which I think is a little bit weird. Maybe they thought that this foundation wasn't going to do as well as their matte foundation, or maybe they just wanted to go for, maybe they were just being lazy. Who knows? I mean, with these big brands, you really have no idea what they're thinking with their shade selection. You think they would come out with like the same shade selection. But I do really love the coverage of this foundation. I feel like you can get it to be like medium to full coverage if you build it up a lot. I feel like it kind of has the same coverage as the Wet n Wild foundation. I feel like these could be, like this one's definitely more matte, but I feel like the coverage reminds me of it. And a little bit similar to the True Match. It's definitely a really beautiful coverage, even flawless coverage. I really love it. The only con is really the squeezy tube, but I really love this foundation. I think it's really beautiful. I really love all three of the L'Oreal foundations and the Maybelline foundations. They really like know how to make foundations, so I really don't have too many cons at all about them. I've worn this foundation like crazy, and I really love it. So I've had this for a long time as well, so I obviously wanted to share my thoughts in this video. And it does smell a little bit chemically, so just look out for that. This one is more expensive though. I could have sworn when I got this wasn't that expensive. I don't remember this being $12.99. I could have sworn this was a little bit less expensive. But granted, I'm pretty sure I got this when I was working at Ulta, so I got 25% off of it. And I think I had a gift card to use as well, so it was definitely a lot cheaper for me then. But I didn't realize like how pricey it was. So I thought this one was more expensive, but this one retails for $9.99. So I'm like, what? All right, let's move on to the individual foundations. We're going to go with the CoverGirl first. This is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, and this one is in the shade 810 Classic Ivory. And this one says, all day flawless coverage, lasting power of primer, coverage of a concealer, and blendability of a foundation in one, and shine free. And this one is in the shade Classic Ivory, and then this is what the packaging looks like. It is pretty messy packaging, and I wrote for this one, a little heavy, beautiful coverage, a little heavy on my skin though, probably better for oily skin, and this one retails for $11.99. I also do think that the shade is a little bit yellow for me. I don't know why I didn't write that down, but I will tell you guys the pros and cons and how many shades there are and all that jazz. This one hold on, let me just type it in. This one I really don't like the scent on either, but I think it's like scented that way because there's so much SPF in this, which I do really appreciate. This one comes in 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 shades, but the weird thing is that I think they just changed their packaging on this. I don't know if that means they got rid of some shades. I have no idea, but the packaging's really nice. Maybe they updated it because it got too messy. I don't know, but I looked it up on CVS and on Ulta, and they both have this packaging. I'll probably insert a clip of it or something if you guys are interested, or just link it below in the description box. But this one only comes in, like I said, 13 shades. And I was talking to my YouTube friend, Snack Time with Chip. If you guys aren't subscribed to her, please don't. Please go subscribe to her. I'll leave her channel linked below. We've done 2 collaborations together. I hope we can do more. I love her channel. She's awesome. She is the complete opposite skin tone of me. I am super fair. She is super dark. It's insane, like how opposite our skin tones are. But she told me, we were Snapchatting, and she has a beautiful chocolate, gorgeous complexion. And I really love her videos because she can rock those beautiful blue and green lipsticks that I wish that I could wear because they would just look like crazy on me. And she was talking about, I told her that I've been trying out a bunch of drugstore foundations, and I got like foundation happy because I always tell her when I post a haul because she loves watching my haul videos. Thank you, girl. And she told me that the only foundation that she found that works for her from the drugstore is the CoverGirl foundation. But from what I see on here is that the darkest shade goes to soft sable, and it doesn't even look that dark. So I don't know if they like revamped their shades. Please let me know. Because that's all I can really find when I looked up CoverGirl. Let's do CoverGirl 3-in-1. Yeah, that's what comes up. And it only says 13 shades. So also, Snack Time and Ship, please comment below and let me know if they changed their shade selection because I would love to know that. This is beautiful on the skin, but I do feel like this is better for somebody that has oily skin. I feel like it's too heavy coverage for me. I don't have too many problem areas on my skin that I don't need something that's so full coverage, but I'll probably like wear this to the city. And I do wear this during school because, like I said, I'm on campus for like 8 hours sometimes, so I need something that lasts for 8 hours. This lasts beautifully on the skin, beautiful coverage, doesn't break up on me. It just feels heavy on the skin because it is very full coverage. But this would probably be the most full coverage foundation that I'm talking about. Yeah, I would say that. And I would probably say the L'Oreal True Match. These are probably the two most full coverage foundations, and then the other one that I'm talking about. The other ones are like light to medium, and this one is, these two are like pretty full coverage. So yeah, and this one doesn't feel weightless on the skin, like I said. And this one retails for $11.99. Like I said, I got this one when I did buy one get one 50% off of CoverGirl when I got it from CVS. But I believe it's $10.99 on Ulta. I'm looking at it right now, but it's $11.99 at CVS. So sometimes they just vary, and sometimes the shades are different prices, which I hate. Like, why aren't they all the same price? Like, why is it that a tan shade is like $10.49 and a darker shade is $10.49, but the lighter shades are $10.99? Like, why should lighter skin tone girls pay more? Like, that's what I was noticing the trend was. I'm like, that's not fair. Like, why would they charge us more? Because they think that white tone girls are just going to buy whatever and not look at the price? Like, I'm looking at the price. Like, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm saying, like, why wouldn't just make it the same price? It's the same product, it's just a different shade, so please let me know why they do that. Alright, so then the next one we're going to talk about, we only have 2 more left, is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. And this one is in the shade 01 Creamy Vanilla. First of all, I love the packaging on this one. It's so nice and heavy and substantial. It feels really luxurious in your hand. And this one says, medium to full coverage, lightweight oil-free formula, long-wearing, water-resistant, and sweat-proof. And this one says, this one retails for $9.99, and this one I wrote, beautiful full coverage, looks flawless, feels weightless on the skin, goes on super evenly, but is a little yellow. Yeah, and can break up after a long period of wear. Now, this foundation is phenomenal when you first put it on. Like, the most beautiful coverage. I was obsessed with it when I first put it on. But I don't think it's waterproof, and I don't think it's like 24-hour wear. It doesn't really claim that. It doesn't make like crazy claims like the I believe the CoverGirl says that, and the this one says 24-hour wear. Like, come on, who's gonna wear their makeup for that long unless like they're trying to relay the fact that some people wear their makeup like when they're sleeping, which you should never do that. Alright, so let's go to the shades. So this one retails for $9.99, like it said, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay. So it looks like they do have a lighter shade. It looks like that, I think on CVS, they don't have the lightest shade of this. That really annoys me. Like, why do drugstores do that? Like, do they try to make it exclusive to one store? Like, that is really annoying. Like, you should be able to get the deals, and you shouldn't have to worry about, like, going to a million different stores to get your shade. I think that's so annoying because you can't even test it out. So why not just have the same shade selection, you know? So anyway, this is what the packaging looks like. It has a beautiful um, glass, like ombre kind of thing going on. And it has a really nice pump to it. I just wanted to see if the ombre was like the actual foundation, but I think that's part of the packaging. Oh no, that's the foundation. That's really pretty. I think this is definitely hands down my favorite packaging wise. I really love that. But the only con is that it's too yellow on me. So I do wish I had I mean, it's not like horribly yellow, but I would say out of all of these foundations, these two are, actually, these three are definitely the most yellow on me. And then I would say the Maybelline. The other ones are really good shade selection. These ones aren't. But again, I can deal with it, especially the Maybelline one, because that one's definitely like not too bad. The other two are definitely pretty yellow though, and this one is very yellow. But I can deal with it because it has such gorgeous coverage when I put it on, and it feels weightless. Like, I've never really had a foundation that feels this weightless on the skin that's so full coverage besides like the True Match. It feels so good on your skin, but I do notice that it does start breaking up after like 6+ hours worth of wear. That's what I've been noticing each time I wear it. And it does start breaking up your concealer, which I don't like. But I think I have to try this with like one of my favorite concealers that I'm wearing right now. I've been wearing it for the past 2 days and I really like it so far, but I haven't hauled it yet. I am like accumulating more drugstore products if you guys didn't know that by now, but I'm pretty sure you guys did. And yeah, I will update you guys more on my thoughts on this, but Milani is a pretty pricey drugstore brand, but I think this is kind of decently priced for considering L'Oreal and Maybelline are supposed to be more decently priced. This one's $9.99, so it's not too bad, and I do think the packaging is really nice. So yeah, that's that one. And then the last one is the most expensive foundation out of all the ones I'm talking about, which I kind of don't like because this one's in a plastic bottle. It's not a glass bottle. Anyway, this one is the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Foundation, Firmer, Even Skin, Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15, and this one is hypoallergenic. And this one says, Firmer, even skin with a youthful glow, visibly firms, lifts and brightens for a more luminous complexion. For best results, blend on smoothly and evenly with your finger or a sponge, with fingers or a sponge. And yeah, this one is in the shade Cool Vanilla. So this is what the packaging looks like. I really like the pump on this. Really nice. It's just really easy to hold. I guess the reason why this one's not glass is because it's in such a big bottle. So glass would definitely break a lot easier. All right, for this one, I wrote, in love with this, love the shade, feels weightless, coverage is gorgeous, my new fave foundation. So we're just going to get into it really quickly. But this one is definitely the most expensive. This one retails for $15.99. And I will tell you guys about these shades really quickly. Number 7. And this one, you can only really find at Ulta. I haven't seen number 7 sold anywhere else but Ulta. They do sell some number 7 on CVS, but they don't sell the foundations on CVS.com. This one ranges anywhere between $8.97 and $15.99. And most of the shades are sold out online, but I got the shade Cool Vanilla. I don't think, pretty much, it's called Calico. I don't even know how to say it. It looks like the same shade as this one is. But yeah, most of these are $15.99. I got this on promo with the promo that was going on with whatchamacallit, Ulta. They were doing like this fall haul event and they were promoting the number 7 foundations, that all number 7 foundations were $9.99. So I got this for $9.99. I would not pay over $12 for a drugstore foundation. I think that's ridiculous if you pay over $10 to $12 for a drugstore foundation. I even think $12 is too much money. But I get all of these with discounts at CVS, so I'm not complaining about the prices really because you can always get a coupon. So yeah, this guy is amazing. And then this comes in 3, 6. Let me just tell you the shade names really quickly. I'm like so excited to rave about this. But this is 3, 6. There's only 10 shades. That is horrible. There's not even a dark option, so I think that is horrible. But if you have dry skin and you're a fair skin girl, I can't even describe to you how much I love this foundation. It makes your skin look beautiful. Like if you don't have problem skin, if you're first starting out with makeup and you have a really fair complexion and you don't want something that's like crazy full coverage, this is for you. Like probably like anyone like 21 plus that falls in my age range from 21 to 30. I think you would love this foundation. It's just gorgeous. Like such beautiful coverage. It's a medium foundation. This is by far not full coverage whatsoever. It's so dewy on the skin. It just makes your skin look so healthy. And it's so luminous and beautiful. Like, and if when I swatched this in the store, you feel like a cooling sensation on your hand. And when I was blending it, I was like, wow, that's really, really creamy. And I knew that it was going to go on like that on my face. And once I applied it to my face, I was like, that's it. Like, this is amazing. Like, mic drop. You just, like, trumped all my other foundations. Like, this is by far one of my all-time favorite foundations. Right now, it's in, like, my top 5. I wasn't even going to try this foundation because I thought it was too expensive. But Kathleen Lights constantly raved about their foundations that I was like, okay, girl. You keep on raving about this foundation. I'm going to finally try it. And I flipping love it. I know it's the most expensive, but trust me, you can always get a 20% off coupon from Ulta. They run one like every month. And they're always doing discounts on drugstore foundations. So just make sure you just wait for a promo. These number 7 goes on promo sometimes. That's when I got it. And I just love it. It's so good. I love it so much. I just wanted to say before I wrap up this video that I tried the CoverGirl 3-in-1 because of Andrea Mattiliano. She did recently switch over to be cruelty-free, so she doesn't use it anymore. But that's probably why she used it so much, is because she was an oily skin girl, and that's why I said this would be better for oily skin girls. The reason why I tried the Milani foundation is because Jaclyn Hill recently tried this in one of her, most anticipated drugstore foundation video, and honestly she half-assed that video, and I'm kind of pissed that she didn't really use everything that was completely drugstore. Like, she used her Morphe palette, and then she used like 5 different products that were drugstore, but she didn't really like go hard with drugstore products when she bought like a shit ton and only used like 6 products. So I didn't really realize that until after the video was over and after I kind of re-watched her old makeup haul. I don't re-watch videos that often, but I re-watch her videos to refresh my memory on what she's actually said. I think I still love her. I love her makeup. I love her personality. But girl, you just need to not contradict yourself so much. I think you just need to pay attention more to what you say. But she used this in her drugstore tutorial, and she said this was like her favorite foundation ever to use from the drugstore. And she said that, granted, I haven't worn it throughout the day, but this looks amazing. And I definitely 100% agree with her. On first application, this is probably by far the best drugstore foundation I've ever tried on first application, but it doesn't wear. This would probably be my favorite foundation out of all of these if it wore just as well as some of my other favorite foundations. But I definitely love this over the LA Girl or the Wet n Wild. I think that this one is better. But the Wet n Wild is definitely better holding up, but I do feel like it feels pretty dry around my nose. So yeah, that is it, you guys. I hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry it's always so long with me, but I think I did a pretty good job telling you guys my thoughts of all these foundations. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, CBW819, and my Twitter's Progress819, and my Snapchat is Progress819. I think I had a couple more foundations I was thinking about picking up, but since I picked up so many lately, like I've picked up 7 new drugstore foundations, and I just really wanted to review them all for you guys. The one before that I picked up was the Wet n Wild, so I only had 4 before this, and then I picked up 6 more. So the number 7, the LA Girl, the CoverGirl, the Milani, the other Maybelline Better Skin, and the True Match by L'Oreal are all new foundations that I've been trying, and the number 7. But yeah, out of, oh god, I didn't say like which ones I would recommend hands down. If you have dry skin and you don't have problem skin, hands down this one. I fucking love this foundation. I love it so much more compared to the True Match Lumi. These ones I would say are the most wow, I'm really not, was I really not going to say this in my video? Wow. I would say these two are the most similar coverage-wise, and then I would go up to this foundation. So these ones are definitely the lightest coverage foundations in this video, but by far I would recommend this one. I think this one has the best shade selection if you're going for a fair skin tone. These two have great shade selections as well, but I love the formula over these two. I still love these two foundations, but this one definitely is my favorite. But I feel like this one does not appeal to as many people as the other two do because of the shade selection. So that's the only downfall of this. And then for full coverage foundations, I would say by far the L'Oreal True Match is definitely my favorite. Full coverage wise, I already said why. I just love the shade. I love the coverage. It's beautiful. This is really amazing. And the shade selection is great. Then I would probably say my L'Oreal Pro Glow. I love this foundation. It's so good for me. I love it for dry skin. It's just really good. And then I would say the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin foundation is amazing. I really love this foundation. It's so beautiful on the skin. Then I would say the Milani foundation, especially for my skin type. I would say that these ones are pretty much tied. I feel like this one is too heavy for me though, but the coverage is amazing, and the coverage is definitely, this one definitely lasts a lot better throughout the day than this one. But when it comes to comfort, I would definitely say this one. It's really comfortable on the skin. Then I would say the Wet n Wild. I know that's crazy, but it's not my favorite foundation, you guys, and I've pretty much made that clear. It's good, but I think there's other foundations I like a lot more, like I've already said already. And then I would say the LA Girl is probably my least favorite. I hate the smell. I hate the color. I mean, I don't hate the color. I just wish that the color selection was a lot better. And I don't think this one wears half as nicely as the other ones. But yeah, that's it, you guys. That's my final thoughts. And please let me know what you think of any of these foundations, if you've ever tried them. And if you want me to try any more foundations, please let me know. I can't wait to tell you guys more reviews on drugstore products, but that's it. And again, forgive me for being all over the place. I haven't really sat down and filmed a video in a couple of weeks. This is the first one I've really sat down and filmed in a while. I've mostly been filming liquid lipstick check-in and reviews. I haven't really been filming, like, I really have not been filming because I've been in school. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Bye! Also, side note, I'm pretty sure you guys know this already, but I always apply all of my foundations with a beauty blender. Any type of sponge. I don't like brushes at all. I think they leave such a streaky, patchy application. I always use a beauty blender. I don't know if I said that. I just feel like beauty blenders work so much better for dry skin. I probably should have said that in the beginning of the video, but I didn't because I'm a derp. And I'm literally saying this when I already closed my computer. But yeah, that's it. Bye!